Um, so till yesterday, just we have covered the virtual tables. So far we have covered introduction to Power Platform, the licensing in Power Apps and Power Automate, and we have covered uh, solutions. What are the different types of solutions? And next we have covered virtual tables in Dataverse. Okay, so we will take it forward, how to um, create a you are I hope like you are already familiar with how to create a Dataverse table. Like you can come here to tables and click on new create new tables, whether you can use the Copilot, or you can just simply import the information from SharePoint, or import the information from Excel, or you can directly create it manually. So once you have created this, um, you can go to custom, and then just you can see all the informations here. What are the tables you have created? So if you want to access all the tables, all the Dataverse tables, you can go to here, and then you can see there are a lot of inbuilt uh, Dataverse tables available for the um, various purposes like data and metadata. Everything will be stored in the Dataverse. So you can access those tables. Um, to take it further, let me open one of my Dataverse table here. So here, this is the place where you can use to create new columns or access the existing columns, and you can create relationships. So I think we have covered this, right? So we will take it further. We all like, I hope we have covered business rules, or it was not covered business rules and business process flows.
No, it is not covered.
Okay, so we will see first business rules here. Business rules is simply I will tell you, in order to perform any validations inside the form or to the table, we will be creating a business rule. Say, example, validation in the sense, if you see here, just like I've created the business rule, it is redirect me to the design page of the business rule, where here I can give the business rule a name. I'm just giving form validation. Okay, if there is any description, I can give the description for this business role. Then post to that, if you see here, um, the right side we have save button. Next to that we have validate button, so that if there are any errors, it will throw out. Next we are having the scope. We will come later what scope it means. Meanwhile, we will see we have a snapshot. Snapshot, which is nothing but whatever are the conditions we are adding, right? What are the actions and conditions we are performing here? That will be available as kind of short based structure. As we have added the condition, it is giving me that condition. So we will see what it is. Next to that, we have a text preview, what we are trying to do here. So first we will start with conditions. I'm just selecting a condition here. In the condition, we can name a condition. Next, we have this entity that is nothing but the table. The table is what we call it as entity. If you see Dataverse, this is the classic view. So that's why in all the classic views, they will be referring it as entity. So don't confuse. Entity is nothing but the table. So this is the table name. Next, we have to add a rule. Inside the rule, a rule in the sense a condition, whatever the condition we are trying to check here. So here we are checking the entity. We are selecting the entity, source is entity. Next one, I can select any field as part of this current entity. Okay. Earlier, we will call it as entity and fields. Later, they have changed the terminology to use tables and columns. So all the classic views will have entity and fields. That is nothing but tables and columns. So here, in case if I'm uh, doing so status equals, if I want to check the condition status equals, whether I'm checking along with the another field, or I can directly compare this with some hardcode values, or in this case, it is a choice column. So the choices are already added here. And like based on this selected data or data type or the column, the operator, right? This operator, you can feel the difference. Whether if you are using text column, you can see something else. If you are using choice column, you can see this. So if you are using other columns, so this operator will get changed based on the data type what you are selecting. So here just I'm just checking whether the status is equals active. So whenever we are doing any changes in this property, we have to click on the apply button. Then only the changes will be reflected to this design page here or this condition. Else it will be it won't be available. So I'm clicking on that apply so that the condition will be added to this place. Okay. So we have added a condition. So you can also see here, here once I have clicked on apply, you can see the status if condition status equals active, then what we are doing. So what we can do now, we can add again add a condition, or we can add any of the actions here. Okay. Um, actions, which is nothing but um, so whenever we met with the condition, what are the actions we have to perform? Like in PowerAutomate, how we are doing in PowerAutomate, the same way here we have condition and actions. Okay. We will start with conditions, and we can add condition whenever it is required later also. And post to that, we can add a condition, whether it's here we have validations, right? Whether we are locking some particular field, lock in the sense whether we are making some particular column as read only. So we can do that, or we can remove if we already have some column as read only, just we can lock and unlock. So if you see here, I'm making um, field level as lock. Okay, I will apply. So in the else condition, just I'm reversing this. So what I will do, I will make field level unlock. Okay, if this is inactive. Okay, next what I'm doing, I can add, I can show some error message as well. Okay, so in case here maybe I will drag and drop to this section. I will show some error message. Uh, field level is empty or something. Okay, so next one, I can add, I can set some value uh, to any of the fields. So if you see here, I can select the column. Okay, I can select the department name, and then I can set the value as HR test. Okay, so as I didn't click on apply button, you cannot see the changes, right? So every time you have to click on apply button. Okay, so next one, what we can do, we can okay, we can set a default value, right? I told that. So the value. So if you see here, I'm setting HR test. This is the value I'm setting to this department name. But we have one more action called set default value. So just nothing but whenever we don't have any value in that column, then it will set with this value. If we already have some values in that column, then it will not, the default value will not get set to that column. Say example, when we are using the first one, where even though if we have some other value, the department name, that will be replaced with the HR test. But in the default, when we are using the default value, whenever we don't have any value, then the default value will set to that column. That is the difference here. Next one is the business required. Whether we are making any column um, as a required column or as a not required column. We can set this. If you want to make show and hide of some columns, say example, whenever the status is active, Then I want to show priority column. Then I can do it here. Whenever it is not active, then I want to hide. Then we can use the last action, the set visibility. Okay. So we will save this. So using business rules, we can perform some inbuilt or some basic validations. Okay. So the just like we have saved this. Next thing, we had to activate this. Then only it will available across the scopes. Okay, the scope which is nothing but here this is set to entity, so that it will this business rule is applicable for the entire table. It's not limited to only the forms we have created in the table. So if we set to all forms, so wherever we are using the data was forms, then everywhere the scope will be applicable. Or if you want to make this applicable only for particular form, then we can select the direct form and then we can publish this. I will select it as entity. I will activate this. Okay, it got activated. You can see it here. This is the snapshot. This is a preview. Whatever the actions we have used, we can view it here. This is the text view where we can see in a text-based format what we are trying to do here. Okay, we'll go back here. So our business rule got created. Let me come back. Okay, you can see that business rule here. We will go back and we will do this. Before that, I will open forms. I will open the information form. We'll see if we have the status column. So in the form, we don't have the status column inside the form. So what I will do, I will open this form and then I will add the status column. Okay. What are the other things we are doing here? Field level, department name. So we need these things, field level, department name. So we already have that field. So I will click on save and publish. So basically, like in the form, just I'm adding the rest of the columns. What are the columns we have used in the business rule, right? Just I'm adding those columns so that we can instantly check that thing. So just a second, this is read only. Okay, what we can do. Okay, that is fine. We will see. Else we will make the condition something else. We'll go back here. So I will select one of the item, edit. Okay. Edit row using form so that we can check the details directly inside the form. So whenever it is active, you can see the field level is read only and department name is set to HR test, right? So whenever I'm changing this to inactive, you can see the field level is mandatory and this one we are not changing. So that's why you cannot see anything here. So this is how, on a dynamic basis, if you want to do some validations right inside the Dataverse form, you can use business rules. If it is a, if there are any customization or validation which matches with any of the actions available here. So whenever you want to update anything here, you have to deactivate this. Then only you can make you can able to update the existing business. Okay, so with that, I will close this. Any doubts here? Business rule? Any doubts?
Like, is there any particular restrictions, like only a set of functions can be used in business rule, or there are like we can use any number of comments
Um,
in?
any number of actions, but
Yeah.
you are restricted to only those 5, 6 actions you saw in the business rule, right? Whether
Okay.
show and type, make required, set value. Um,
Okay.
so
Activate
those are
the
all the
show.
available actions.
Okay. So only
Okay.
those six things
Oh,
whichever are
yes.
present, that only we can add those things in business rule.
Yeah, only those are all the available validations
Okay.
we have as of today. So if there are any other validations, you have to perform using JavaScript web resource, not using the out-of-box business rule.
Okay.
So with that, let me move to advanced settings here. If you see, we have a settings icon. So if you open this, you can see advanced settings. This will redirect you to open the classic settings page of the Dynamics 365. So we are expecting, so still they are working on to move all the functionalities to the modern view, but still we have to access a couple of things in the classic view. So with that, like what I'm doing, I went to advanced settings and then I clicked on this arrow and I have selected the security. So inside security, you can see some couple of options here. First one is the users, second one is the teams, third one is the security role, and we have business unit and then field security profiles. So we will be using the first 5 in our in Power Platform. Let's go through what does it mean. If you want to uh, give access to some users to this environment, then what you will be doing as of today, you will go to Power Platform Admin Center and you will open that environments, go to environments and open the environment uh, to which environment you want to do access. And then in this environment, go to users. So this is the modern view. Okay. So directly you can click on users and you will be adding the users to the environment by selecting the security role. Okay, so I will cover this, no problem. If you see here, if you want to give access to any of the environments, okay, whether it is a user access or whether it is admin access or whatever it is, you have to come here and then open the environment, select the users. Inside the users, just click on add user and just mention their name, okay, and click on add. Next screen, as this user is already added, so you can see this. But by default, you have to select the business unit. So whenever you are adding a user, every user has to be assigned with the business unit. Okay, this is a single selection. So every user will be in single business unit. I will come to that what business unit it is. But as of now, just understand every user has to be in some business unit. Okay, here the user is in the parent business unit. Next, we have to, as we have selected the business unit. So for this business unit, what are all the roles available for this business unit? If you see here, for this business unit, I have created one security role, custom security role. So the remaining security roles are all out of box security roles based on our um, requirement, we can give the security roles. These are all out-of-box security roles. The highest privilege is system admin, and next to that highest is system customizer. So for admins, you can give system administrator security role, so that that particular user will act as an admin for this environment. But you don't want to give the highest privilege to some users, but you want to give some level of access, except not having the admin feature of this environment. Then you can give system customization. So they can do the development, everything, but they will not have the admin access. So in those cases, you can give system customizer. Even I am not familiar with all the out of box thing here, but the most commonly used will be system customizer and system admin. And the least permission, right? Least permission is the environment maker and basic user app opener. We have a lot of other security roles. If you want to give end user access, you can give basic user. You can give environment maker, or you can give, if you want to give only access to some of the model driven application, then you can just give only the app opener. Okay, so these are all the least privileges available, least privilege security roles available out of box here. So it's always good practice to create your own custom security role. I will be creating it. That will be the better thing to, rather than using the default security role, right? Because the default security roles is not editable. So it will be advisable to create a custom security role that matches or aligns with your project scope. Okay. Once you
So
have
the
selected the
security role is for only while we creating this user perspective, right? Like, do we
yes.
have a
So
custom
here.
security role
Hmm,
also, like out of box as per the user requirement? And I also the BU which you have mentioned. So that do we need to use a predefined, or do we have an option to create out of box values also for BU? Because each organization will have different business units, right? BU is business unit,
business unit.
if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I will cover that. But just to understand, as of now, like whenever you are giving access, you have to select single business unit, and then for that business unit,
Okay.
you can do multiple selection for the security roles. You can give system admin as well as the app opener. So the security roles is
Okay.
multi-select here. You can also select
Yeah.
the custom security role you have created, and also you can give the out-of-box security role also, so that the user with highest privileges will be considered for the scenarios, okay, for the access. So this is how we will be adding a user. Uh, Before that, we have to explore here. Uh, Here, this user, right? This is the same what we saw in the admin center. So this is where we'll be adding a user. Next one is the teams. Teams, which is nothing but it's a collection of users. Okay, if you want to have multiple users in the teams, then you can create a teams, and then you can add multiple users, or there are other things as well. Say example, if you have Azure AD group, you want to integrate it as a Teams in Power Platform, just simply use the Azure AD, that um, ID. There will be one ID. Just you can use that ID, so that it will be integrated with the Power Platform. So that or there are some types you can add multiple users into Teams, or directly you can integrate with the Azure AD. AD in the sense Azure. In Azure, if you have the Teams, then you can use the same groups here as well. And next we have security roles. Before we are going to security roles, let's see what business unit it is. Business unit, which is nothing but for every project or every organization will have some classification. Classification in terms of departments or projects, or user roles. Okay, for even for the same project or for say, the same application, whatever the application we are creating, right? For that application, we may have multiple roles. Like we have admin, we have end user, Likewise, we have different roles, right? That is what we will generally call it as classification. Each classification, if you want to maintain different security things, okay, then in those cases, you can create a business. Say example, I will tell you one business scenario where in that case, if we have a table um, called a sales table, in the sales table where the salesperson, right, can create a sales record. Okay, what are the sales he has covered for this week or for this month? He will be creating it in the sales table. Um, so salesperson can able to access only their sales data. Okay, not other person's sales data. So he will be having access only to their own sales data. Uh, but in case if the sales lead wants to access everyone sales data, then that is a different role. So for that, we need to have a different business unit. So for salesperson, you'll be having one business unit. For sales lead, you will be having one business unit. Then what if we have a sales manager? Sales manager can able to see all the salesperson's data as well as the sales lead data. Okay. Any doubts here? You can able to understand this, right? We have three different roles: the user, the salesperson, sales lead, sales manager. So for each user roles, we can create a business unit. I will tell you why later, why we need to create three business unit. So here we have three classification, just create three business unit. So whenever we are creating an environment, by default, uh, this business unit will get created as we need at least one business unit, right? To add users to those things. So by default, one business unit will be created with this default name. This is the URL of the model run application where you can able to see uh, right here. Okay. If you see here, I'm in the admin center. I have just selected the environments. Inside this page, I can able to see the details of this environment. If I click on edit, you can see the URL. You can able to change this value as well. This will be the URL of the model driven application. Okay. Canvas application URL will be make.powerapps.com, and then we will be having environment ID, app ID, some other information. But the model run application, this will be the URL. Next to that, we'll be having the app ID. Based on that, the model run application will be rendered or will be loaded for the end user. Okay. You can customize this value, but this is a hard coded. Okay. I will move over to business unit. Even in business unit or teams or wherever it is, wherever it's creating a default items, right? There you can able to see the same value here. Okay, this is the parent business unit. So if you want to create any custom business unit, just click on new, give some name for business unit. So for each business unit, what we are creating will need to have a parent business unit. Okay. Each business unit will have a parent business unit. You got this right? So I have created demo BU business unit. For this business unit, this is the parent business unit. You can see it here. Parent business unit is the default business unit. I have created this. We'll go back to security roles now. So in security roles, we can create a. So even if you click on the security role, it is redirecting me to the modern page where I can click on new role. I can give some role name. Uh, Immediate after that, it is asking us the business unit. Because whenever we are trying to add a user, once after we have selected the business unit, it shows the security role, right? So the security role is tied with the business unit. So if you are creating a security role for this business unit, then if I'm adding some users to this business unit, then only I can add them to this security role, whatever the security role which is attached to this business unit. So in case if I have added this, in case if I have if I'm adding a user to demo business unit, I cannot able to select the custom role, whatever it is attached to another business unit. Okay. So here it is asking us whether to include the app opener privileges because um, if you see inside the security role, there are so many options. There are so many privilege options will be there. We there are so many customization we can able to perform, but with modern view, right? With the Dynamics 365, you can able to view all of them. But with the modern view, you will have only limited access to in terms of the Power Platform. In that case, always enable this if you are using model run application so that whenever the user is granted with this security role, by default, app opener privilege also will come in that box. Okay. I have created a demo security role. Let me open that. Inside the security role, if you see here, I have tables and other things as well. Okay. Um, Mainly, we will be focusing on the tables because we want to give access to the tables for the user, right? So far, any doubts here? For sure, you'll be having so many doubts here. It will be really confusing initially. But let me finish this. Then you will have some understanding. And then there we will take some doubts, okay? Here, I can able to see the table which I have created here. Um, if you see for this table, in case if I want to give access, read access or write access for the sales persons, right? Assume this table is a sales table and this security role is for the um, salesperson. If that is the case, then what I will do, I will be selecting the privilege, right? If you see here, the privilege, which is nothing but this is self-explanatory. If you want to give access for the user to create a record, just you can give this. If the user wants to read, write, delete, you can just set the configuration. Okay. Next to that, we have assign and share. If you want to share this item to someone else, you can give that relevant access. Or if you want to assign this, assign, which is nothing but for every table, we have a owner column. Okay. If you see, we have a owner column, owning business unit, owning team, owning user. Okay. Here, the owner column, by default, the person who has created this item will be the owner. So the will be the same person as the owner value here. Okay. Let's consider a scenario. If I'm creating 10 records, for all the 10 records, I will be the owner by default. You can also change this owner column. You can also rename this column. Whatever you want to do, you can do that. Right after the creation, you don't want to have your name, which means the creator by person name. If you want to modify this, you can use Power Automate or directly you can manually change this value. Okay, with some other person name. So the person name, whatever the value we are having in the owner column, right? Next to that, we have other informations. Let's see business unit. So this person who is in which business unit, that value will be automatically updated to this column, owning business unit. Okay. So I am into this business unit. So that's why I can see this value. I am the person who has created this and no one, I have not updated to some other person name. So I can still see my name. We will be having the default value as a created person name. Okay. We will go back here, security role. If in case I want to give access to those persons with their own sales data. For example, I'm creating 10 records, and if Bharat creating 10 records, Bharat will have access to only his record. I will have access to only my record. Okay, in order to do that, here in the read access file, I have to select user. Whenever I'm doing this, not only for create, for all the permissions here, you can select user so that only we will be having access to only our records whenever we are selecting user. Okay, which means behind the scenario, behind the scene, what it will happen, the person who are there in the owner column. Okay. So example, even though if someone else has created and make me as a owner, then the person who has created that, right, they will not able to see that record. Only I'm the person is in the owner field. I only can able to access this records. So whenever we are selecting the user, uh, this will filter the owner column which matches with the current user logged in information. Then only those records will be available for that particular user. Okay. Next to that, we have assign, right? Assign, which is nothing but if you want to assign this record to some other person, which means I told you um, the owner column. If you want to update the owner column, then you can enable this assign as well to some other person, so that you can, if you want to able to, if you want to modify this owner column, then you can assign, you can give that permission over here. Next to that, we have append and append to. This will be applicable only for lookup columns. If you have lookup columns, that refers to another table in Dataverse. Okay. In that another table, you don't have any access. Okay. Say example, the employee interview table. You don't have, we have a lookup that connects to employee interview, but you don't have access to the employee interview table. Then, but you want to add the lookup value to this employee management table. Then what you can do, you have to give uh, append to permission in the employee table in that second table, and then you have to give append permission in this table, so that even though if they don't have access to the second table, they can able to access the lookup column that is connected to the second table. That is the purpose of having an append and append to permission. Next to that, so we have created a security role for the salespeople by selecting user. Next, we want to create a security role for the sales lead. In that case, what we have to do, we have to create we have to select the business unit. Okay. We already have a business unit. We have already created a business unit for sales lead. Okay. Um, we are creating a security role. In the security role, we are giving privileges to the to access the business unit. I will go back here. You can see I have created 5 records here. I can see the business unit. Example, if I'm in the demo business unit, I can see owner column with my name, and then the business unit will be with the demo business unit. Say example, Bharat also has created 5 items. Um, his business unit is also demo business unit. Okay. Then we will be having 10 records under demo business unit. So for sales lead, they want to access sales lead. Uh, they want to access all the demo business unit record. So in that case, what we will be doing, we have to select a business unit here. So that all the records under demo business unit, they will be having an access to that. Okay. Not only their records, but if we select the business unit, all the records with the relevant business unit with the current logged in user. If the current logged in user is in demo business unit, they have access to this security role, then obviously they can able to see all the records under that particular business unit, under demo business unit. Okay. With here, we have created a security role for sales lead. Next, we want to create a security role for sales manager. Sales manager can able to access sales lead as well as the sales lead data as well as the salesperson data. Okay. In those cases, what we can do, sales manager is in the parent business unit, that org business unit. Okay. But the sales lead and the remaining peoples are there in the demo business unit. So we, in order to access the demo business unit, even though the manager is in the parent business unit, org business unit, then in to do that, what we have to do, we have to select a parent child business. So whenever we are selecting this option, they will be able to access the org related records, org business unit records, as well as the child business unit. For org, the child is demo. Demo business unit is the child of org. So they can also access the org as well as the demo business unit. Okay. Next option, say example, if we want to give access to some admins, then we can select organization so that they can able to see or access all the records in the database table. That is the purpose of organization. Next, we have none. If we don't want to give access, we can select none. Okay, with that, just we have finished this concept of security roles, all this. If you want to enable the role level security, you can use the user and the business unit for their business unit, parent child business unit. Next, we have organization. So any doubts here?
So these are default roles, right?
Yes.
Which are provided by the Microsoft Power Platform.
Yes.
So if we wanted to create any out of box, then suppose there are groups in a SharePoint.
Mm-hmm.
So that will reflect here.
No.
So this is
No.
only
This
for
is nowhere connected to
Power
the
Platform.
SharePoint. This is dedicatedly for the Dataverse.
Okay.
Because this
So if
is
we want to
more
create
applicable
any
for the
out of
Dataverse.
box,
Mm-hmm.
okay. So if we
Go.
want to create any out of box, then from where do we need to create apart from these groups? If any
See,
requirement comes up.
yeah. So this security roles business unit is for the Power Platform environment level or model drone application or Dataverse. Okay. In all these scenarios, obviously SharePoint will not. You cannot replace this with the SharePoint because you cannot give environment level access using SharePoint. You cannot give Dataverse access from SharePoint. You cannot access SharePoint inside model drone application, right? So
Yeah.
in SharePoint, like considering SharePoint, we will be using only inside Canvas application, right? For application, we will not use in model run application. There is only one option where we will be using it in inside Canvas application, right?
Yeah.
So in those cases, inside the Canvas application itself, you have to write the logic. Like if you have access to that particular record, or you can get that information from the list. If you have access, then only you can able to get that information from the list. You don't need to worry about the data governance or security over here. As we are we are considering the security privilege for the environment and for the data in the dataverse. SharePoint, we already have that inside the SharePoint. We have set the privilege using the site permissions. We have that site permissions will be creating it, right. Create that site owner.
Yeah. Admin, team member, and viewer.
Yeah, and also you can create a custom permission as well, whether they want to
Yeah.
access the application pages or create permission. So there we will be configuring it. You will not do it inside Power Platform.
Okay.
Okay. So
So
the
for this,
next.
if we wanted to create a new role, that is
Mhm,
my question actually. So here we see org, others, and parent roles, right?
mhm. Parent
So
business
if we
unit,
want,
not roles. So if you see here, whenever we are creating a security role, by default, we have to select the business unit. Then for that business unit, what are all the security roles we are creating? And um,
yeah,
here,
security roles, can we create new security roles here
yes.
or no?
So here, this is creating a new security role. Just like I've saved this. This is just a demo security role. I have created it here. You can see this from here.
So this is which page? Can you just show us?
So right now I'm in the advanced settings page. Can come from PowerApps. Look on settings, advanced settings. There you can able to see this security by clicking on this arrow button.
Mhm.
Inside the security, you can
Okay.
able to access all of this, and also you have option to access this in the Power Platform Admin Center itself. In Admin Center also you can
Okay.
see security roles, teams, users, business unit. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So as we have created the security role, next we can open users and then we can add a user by selecting the proper business unit and then related security roles. Okay. So using this, we can maintain a role level security. We can do a role level security and the records, whatever they want to have access, we can set it from here. But in case, if you want to give a restriction on a column base, okay. Example, you have some expense amount uh, in a table. We have a column called expense amount. Um, that column is in some database table called expense details. Okay, where everyone will have access to the expense details tables. But you want to restrict the expense amount. Expense amount should be only available to the admins, not to all the users. They can able to see all the records except the expense amount column. Okay, how you can able to do that in database? We will be using column level security. I will show you here. Here I will open the department details table. If I select the field level, you can select any column. If you scroll down, you will be having advanced options. If you expand this, you can able to see this enable column security. So you have to enable this. You have enabled this column security. For this column, just simply you have to enable it here and then come back to the security page, open the field security profile. Okay. Here, create a column security, give some name and create this. Okay. I have already um, created. If you see, you can add a teams or users who wants to access that particular column. Okay, you can add the users. Next to that, you have the field permissions. Here, this is the place where you will be selecting when whatever the field you have enabled for column security in the database table, you can access all those fields. We have enabled this field for column security. So that's why we can see this here. So for this field, whether this users have access to read the value, or they can also able to update this, or they can also able to use while during the creation where they can able to give some values. Okay, so we can able to manage these three permissions for a particular column. You can also view here, read, update, and create. So just simply do that, enable that permission and click on save and close so that the column permission will be enabled for those columns where other users will not have access to those columns. Okay, this is what we will call it as column level security. Okay, so with that, we have covered security roles, business units. Any doubts here? Any other doubts?
So all of these security levels are only applicable for data was stable, I mean, modern driven apps only, or it is applicable for the entire Power App platform?
So this is applicable for the entire Power Platform, not for
Okay.
the Dataverse table alone.
Okay.
Dataverse table is um, one of the feature available in the security role, but the security role is for the entire Power Platform, not only for Dataverse table.
So while we are creating some application I mean, creating some canvas application, so will this, once after finishing this canvas application, will this all the set of I mean, security roles, business unit, everything will be applicable in that canvas app also?
Yes, so this is for the environment level. It's not only
Okay.
limited to Canvas application. So it's a I told you it's for the environment level. Even if you are accessing directly, you are opening the Dataverse table. There also you can the security role will be activated. So right after you are logging to this environment, right? So this is for the environment level. So even if you are accessing, if you are coming to tables, and if you are opening the table, you can see only those items. You're not able to see the rest of the items. Even it is applicable for a Canvas application, model run application, Power Pages, everywhere this will be applicable. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe here I will see whether I have this. So in the classic view, it will be really easy to understand. Let me open one of the classic view of the security role. This is the one. So this is most of them are related to Dynamics 365, but you can see here, this is applicable for Power Platform as well. In Power Platform, in the modern view, you cannot able to see all of them here, right? Only for Dataverse table, you will be accessing this over here. Whatever the custom tables we have created, you can able to manage the permission, like user, business unit, parent child business unit, and organization. Just we have covered. But we have lot of other stuffs here. I told you, right? There are a lot of out of box features we'll be maintaining it. So if I go to core records, where you can able to see all the out of box Dataverse table. Okay, I told you, right? We have a lot of out of box Dataverse table. So if you want to maintain permission for that, you can do it here. Next to that, this is not in our scope. Um, this is also not related. So this is the user teams uh, where you want to allow the user uh, to read or to create the security role or business unit. You can manage it here. Next to that, okay, the mission, this one, right? Miscellaneous privileges also applicable for modern UAE as well. We have this. Next one, customization. So I told you, right, when we are creating a security role, it asked us whether the user we can privilege with the app opener of model driven application. So that will come and set some default values of here. If you see, we have model driven application. We have to enable this. Then only the end user can able to access the model driven application. Else they will not able to access the model driven application. Next one, if you are creating a business process flow, then we have to give access through security roles. I have created a business process flow called employee interview. I'm giving the access to the business process. You will see how to create a business process flow. There we will be, so this is the place where we'll be giving access to the business process. So this is applicable for the entire uh, Power Platform, not limited to Dataverse table. Okay. So this is what we will call it as business process flow. Okay. So if you see here, so far we have covered the introduction to Power Platform, licenses, and the intro to Automate. And then yesterday, like we saw, so far, like we covered solutions. What are the different types of solutions? And virtual tables in Dataverse, how to create a business rules, and then what is users, teams, security roles, business units, and column level security. So we have covered these topics. So in those topics, like, do we have any doubts, or have you got any chance to work on this? Today we will see what are the Dataverse forms, views, and how to create the model-driven application and embed it inside the model-driven application. So that to the very base level, that we will see today, and how to customize that. And also we have to see the business process flow as well, right? Before that, let me go to tables. As we have created some couple of custom tables already, so I will open one of the existing table, and we will see we have views. Okay. So the views, which is nothing but whenever we are creating a table, by default, it will create some couple of views. Okay, with some filter condition. Next, if we want to create any custom view, then we can create a new view. Just give a name for this view, and then we can create the view. Once we have created the view, inside the, we can able to sort, we can make a default sort, either ascending or descending of existing columns in the view, or we can have a filter condition, can add a filter condition, any filter condition, like you can add multiple and or conditions to the view, so that the result of this filter condition only will be available as part of this view. And also, if you want to add any more columns into this view, you can add it. You can rearrange the columns, and also you can remove the existing columns from here. Okay. So once you have customized this, then you can save and publish, so that the view will be created for this Dataverse table. Moving further, if I go to forms, by default, we will be having these three types of forms. One is the quick view, main, and card. We will come to that each and every one. But as of now, we will be using the main form for the user interaction in the model-driven application. So like we have to click on new form, and then we have to select whether which form are we creating, then give a form name, and then we can create it. Once created, we can open this form. So inside this form, this is the form design page, where you can see this components. The first one is the components, where you can able to add multiple tabs, one column tab, two column tab, and also inside the tab you can add multiple section as well. So here we have added one column section. Likewise, you can add multiple sections into the tab. Okay, so you can just drag and drop the fields between the sections, and then you can manage it. Next one is the quick view. We will see what is quick view, and then we will see what is subgrid, timeline, and the rest of the controls. Okay, we will come to that later. Before that, we will explore the remaining navigations available here. If I move to next one, here the first one is the component, second one is the table columns. So in table columns, whether you want to access all the columns, you can just uncheck this, or whether you want to add only the columns which are not yet added to the form, then you can check this, and then you can just show the remaining columns, whatever we have not used in this form, and then directly we can drag and drop the components. Sorry, the fields into this. Just give me a minute. So we can add drag and drop, or simply we can add the columns into any of the sections here. Moving further, um, we can, in the right side, you can see we can access the properties of the selected area in the canvas. Whether if I have selected the entire section, or whether I have selected a single column, you can easily able to manage the properties of the selected controls. So as here I have selected the field, you can see we can hide the label. We can hide this column only on mobile device, or whether we want to hide this column, because if you see we have owner column, you cannot able to remove this owner column from the form. So in those cases, just simply you can hide this, or if you want to lock this field. So here we have multiple properties. Okay. So next one is the tree view, where you can able to see the structure of this model drone application. Like we have header and footer, and then we have a general tab, single tab. Inside that we have a section, single section. We have two sections here. Inside this section, we have these are the fields. Thus, we can able to see the hierarchy of the controls here. Next one, moving on to form libraries. This is the place where we can able to upload the AS web resources. We will come to that later. So web resource, which will be useful to do some customization. That also up to some extent we can able to customize the functionalities in the Dataverse form. So that's what we will be doing with the help of web resource. Moving on, we have business rules. We can create a business rule directly from here, or we can embed the business rule here. Okay, so that we can access the business rules for this form. That's it about the left side navigation. Uh, Next thing we will see here, these are all again the same things whatever we saw on the left side, right? We are, in addition to that, you can able to see delete based on the selected control. Right side you can able to access the properties, and for the selected control, if there is any ribbon applicable command bar, then you can access those command bars here. So that you are deleting this field uh, from the view, or you want to add anything, the component libraries business resource, business rules. Next to that, we have some other command bar. We will explore that. If we click on this three dot, you can see form properties. So if I click on this, you here if you see the selected area, right? This entire form is selected here. On the right side is showing the form properties. What's the name of this form? Description of this form, such things. If I move further, here we have events. Events will we will see when we are working with the web resources. So just stick to that. We can access to that form level properties and form level events. Next to that, we have a form settings. Form settings, inside the form settings, whether we want to enable this form for everyone who is having the Dataverse table access. So example, if someone has the Dataverse table access, this table, then they can able to access this form, or only the specific peoples who are there in the specific security roles needs to access this form. You can just mention that here. You can say example, if you want to open this form only for some set of users for some for demo security roles, then you can select the security role and then you can publish this. Or else if you want to make this available for everyone, you can select this. Next one is the form order. Okay. Here you can see there is a single form available for this table. In case if you have access to multiple forms, database forms for the same table, then in those cases, you can set the hierarchy or priority. Like if you have access, say example here we have three forms. Just assume if you have three forms here. Um, if the end user has access to only the second form, they will access only the second form. The remaining two forms they will not see it in the model run application. But in case if they have access to second form and third form, then we have to this is the place where we have to position the hierarchy, like which form has to load by default. Okay, on demand basis they can able to switch between the forms, but the we are setting the default form for the users. Okay, so based on the security door or access, um, here on this order, the default forms will be loaded to the end user. Next one is the fallback forms. Say example, if they have access to the table, but they don't have access to any of the forms, then which form we have to redirect them to, redirect the user to which form. That's the one we are checking here. Next one is the form access checker. So here you can just select the security role, and then you can just verify whether this security role have the form access. Okay, so this security role doesn't have access to this model run application, but this security role have access to uh, the default form of this selected form here. Okay. So next to that, okay, this is pretty good for use it inside the model run application. So what I will do here, I will go back. I'll go to application. I will open one of my model run application here. I already have this department one already added, so I will remove this and then I will add it once again. So if you see here, this is the place, this is the model run application. Just like as I have already created, just I'm editing this, the Design Studio. So once we enter in this Design Studio, this is the place where you will be adding a new page to the model run application. Just click on either add page or click on new. Okay, either way, the functionality is same. Here we are going to add a Dataverse table. I'm searching for my table here, department detail. I will add this table. I will save, publish. I will play this. Okay, so as soon as I just played this, I can see the department details table available inside the model zone application. So as soon as I click on this, I can able to see the views. So whenever we are adding a dataverse table, so this will be the default view. Like the view will be there in the um, dataverse table, uh, where we have based on our security role. If I have access to create a item, then I can see this. If I have access to delete, I can see this button. uh, Next, I can able to edit this. So as soon as I click on edit, it is redirecting me to the form. Okay. Before to this page, I can able to see the view here. Next to that, I can see the form, Dataverse form. I have access to only single form. That's why I don't see any drop down here. We'll go back to this. We will see whenever we are adding a Dataverse table, by default, it will add a view and also it will add a form. If you want to customize this view, directly you can select this inside the model run application studio, and then you can edit this. And also in the right side, you can see um, whatever the views it was added, it was there as part of this table, right? You can able to see all the views here. But if you don't want some particular view, then you can click on this three dot and then you can remove this. Whenever you are removing, it will be removed from the model run application, not from the dataverse table. Okay. Likewise, if I select the form, I can also able to see all the forms here. So if this is something like I don't want any particular form on this model run application, then I can remove those forms as well. Okay. So this is how we can add and remove the forms or views inside the model run application for the database table. So far, any doubts here? Am I going too fast or any concerns? Just let me know so that I can correct it from right away. Because this is a very core underlying concept of model run application. If you have any doubts here, then because as this is a base concept, if you understand this, then only the next things, concepts, what we are going through uh, will be easily understandable. Okay, I assume like pretty much you are good with this concept here. Next, we will move on to um, business process. Okay. Or else, like maybe business process flow will comes along with PowerAutomate. Then we will cover that in the upcoming classes. Uh, so we will continue to complete this model run application. So for which what we can see in the form, right? Inside the form, uh, we'll go to the data was tables first.
So I just have one question. So whatever we are performing these activities, so
Mhm.
these in the real time, who takes the responsibility? Like, is there any separate roles for admin and developers? Because these are not, these are more into the configuration side, right? If I see.
Mhm. Yeah,
So
so it
there will
will
be
be in
two
the hands
roles
of
in the
developer.
in the current market. Like
Mhm.
if we apply, do we need to apply only for the Power App developers? Because everybody means most of the calls which I'm getting is related to developer. So they is there no admin related work, because I see a lot of configuration with more in model driven apps, because
Okay,
I'm not
so
into
it's
code
it's complete.
development.
Okay,
So
that is fine,
yeah.
but it's more in the hands of like developers. Okay, because as like SharePoint, right? In SharePoint, we used to have admin teams. Okay,
Yes.
especially for so because earlier days we used to have SharePoint server, so obviously we need a dedicated team for admins to manage the servers, SharePoint servers and all. Okay, the patches, like the new features, everything we have a dedicated team. But unless like here in Power Platform, we will not have any dedicated team. We will be only the IT team, right? IT team who is having access to admin centers, Office 365 admin centers, or the global IT team for your organization. They will not have any uh, more idea about Power Platform. So what they will do, mostly it will happen in most of the organizations. Okay, so they will give the system admin access to the developers. Okay,
Mm.
so as a developer, we have to uh, do all the steps end to end in Power Platform. So there won't be
Okay.
any dedicated admin role for Power Platform. Uh, the
Okay.
developers will play the admin role,
Mm-hmm.
except in
Okay.
certain scenarios like licensing, right? So obviously, the admin team have to purchase the license and allocate the license. So apart from one or two scenarios, everything as a developer standpoint, we have to do from ourselves.
Yeah, the role creation, business unit, everything, I think
Everything is,
developers will be
yeah,
aware of.
everything is for the developers to take care.
Mhm. Okay.
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 So actually, this development itself is kind of configuration. The model run application is kind of the development itself is a kind of configuration and data governance. So those kind of admin related activities, it's a part of admin related activities.
Mm.
But as the developer, we only will be doing all the steps. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So moving further, say example here, as we discussed, we will be doing more configuration related development here. But like it will not work out in all the scenarios. Okay, most of the time where our requirement needs some validation or needs some customization, uh, right? Because a validation, at least we can create some business rule for small validation, and then we can able to try it. But in case uh, if there is any customization required in the dataverse form, okay, then what we can do? We will see that in detail here. So if there is any customization required in this table, if you see here, right, in this list view, then we have to use PowerApps component framework if you want to modify this view. Or else, if you want to modify this particular dataverse form, you have a lot of options. Um, Say example, like you can use JavaScript to do customization. You can add HTML inside this. You can add images to this, and also you can add Power Apps component framework for the field level. That's it. Okay, these are all the customizations possible inside model application. We will go back here. We will see some customization, whatever we can able to do here, some base customization. So for which, what I will be doing, I will go to Power Apps. Here I'm having employee management table. I will go to columns. I will delete the lookup column here. Okay, dependencies of that. Okay, maybe I will not delete. I will explain you here. We have an employee management table. Each employee, just assume a scenario like in our organization, we have an employee. Employee can able to be in multiple departments. Okay. Uh, say example, um, some person has to be in the HR department and also in the finance department. Okay, let's assume some scenario like that. Okay, maybe the developers can also be in the uh, client project, as well as they can also be in the learning and development, learning and research department. So that here we have a scenario, something like employee can be in multiple departments. So what we can do, um, before going on to that, uh, let's consider a scenario. A employee can be in a single department. Say example, one employee can be in a HR department, or the L&D department, or yeah, like development department, or whatever it is, AMD department, or any other thing. So in those cases, what we can do, what we'll be doing, we'll be creating a lookup column here. Okay, we have an option here, data type as lookup, and then we'll be selecting a lookup column. We will relate it to the other table, lookup table. Okay, so here I'm selecting the department detail column, sorry, table. I will be creating a lookup column. Ultimately, in the back end, what it will happen, whether you are creating a lookup column or whether you are creating a relationship. Okay, uh, if you are creating a lookup column, automatically in the back end, it will create a many to one relationship to the department table. And also in the department table, you can see one to many relationship with the employee management table. Okay. Or if you are creating a, sorry.
Yeah, so we are tagging it is basically a field, like department table is a field, and we are tagging the lookup for this department table, right?
Department
Lookup table.
detail is the table. So we are creating in SharePoint, lookup columns, right? The
Yeah,
same
yeah,
way.
the same
Yeah,
concept, right?
yeah, the similar concept. So
So every table will have only one lookup tag, right?
each table you can add multiple lookup columns. There is no restriction in that.
Yeah, but when we compare to SharePoint, there only for one table we have one lookup values, right?
Okay.
So
The
is it,
target list, you can able to have
yeah,
only one lookup column
one.
to connect it to the target table. So example, here we are
Okay.
connecting it to department table. So obviously
Yeah,
you can
target table
have
only.
single.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So we can create that. Um, I have already created this. Um, if as we have created the lookup column, if I go to relationships and if I check, whenever we are creating a lookup column, we can see the relationships will be created automatically in the backend. Okay, you can see many to one relationship got created. Or else, okay, say example, whenever we are coming from the SharePoint side, what we'll be doing, we will be creating a lookup column. We will not be creating a relationship. But if someone who is having a knowledge, or who has hands-on experience from the SQL Server or from the proper database, okay, they will be creating a relationship. They will not create a lookup column. So in those cases, what they will do, they will directly create the relationship, many to one relationship with the department table. Okay. Ultimately, in the back end, lookup column will get created in this table. Either way, this will work. Whether you are creating a lookup, relationship will be created. If you are creating a relationship, lookup column will get created. Okay. Um, Next one. Okay, we have successfully created a lookup column. Then what we have to do, I have to go to model run application. I will open this form. I will edit this form. Right, this is, oh sorry, employee management, right? I will add employee management table. Okay, I have added the employee management table. This is the table where we have created the lookup column. So I will edit this particular form so that in this form we can able to add the columns here. Okay, so I have added a new tab here. It's not even required. I will delete this. I will go to general tab. In the general tab towards the end, I'm going to add this department detail lookup column. Okay, I will save and publish here. Quickly, I will publish the app and then I will play this app. Okay, here now I can able to see the employee management table. If I open the employee management table, uh, here this is the place where you can able to see the lookup column. Okay, right, you can see here, right? I can able to select the lookup value. Say example, if I want to do multi-selection, I cannot able to do that. Okay. So if you see here, I can click on this, and then if I select some other value, I cannot able to do that. Only it gets overridden. I cannot able to have multi-selection value. But at this moment, I don't want any such scenario. I want to see only. I want to select only the single value from the department detail table. Okay, I can able to access all of the rows from the department detail table. I can able to see the results here, and then I have an option to select this. This is good for now. Next, what I want to see here, it's really confusing for us as it's showing only the primary column of this department detail table. So with this ID, I'm not sure what's the department name unless I have to click on this as it is redirecting me to the department details table. Then only I can able to see the department name here. Okay, but I don't want this right away. I have to access that department. I want to see the department name right inside this employee management table. Let's see how we can able to do that. So I'm again going to edit this employee management form. I'm going to components. So in the components, if you see here, we have a component called quick view. Okay. As soon as I click on this quick view, it is showing me all the lookup columns is as part of this Dataverse table. I can able to see all the lookup columns. Likewise, I can able to see the department detail also here. As soon as I select this department detail, in the below, we have an option to uh, add the quick view form. We have something called quick view form. If I go to tables, if I go to forms here, we have main form. The main form is the one we will be adding it inside the Dataverse table as a as the form for the data manipulation for the end users. Next, we have quick view form. Quick view form, if I open this form, this also will be the similar structure um, where we have some informations, employee ID and owner column. But I don't want to show employee ID and owner column. Owner column, you cannot able to delete this from the form as I told earlier, right? So I will be hiding this. Next to that, uh, oh, sorry. So here we are in quick view form of employee management. It's not the case. Let me go back. So we have to show the quick view form of the department detail. Because here we are selecting the column as department detail. And then in the department detail table, we have to select the quick view form. So if I go here, if I go to, if I go to forms, I can able to see the quick view form here. If I open this form, in case if I want to see the department name, I can add it here. Like also, if I want to see the department in charge, I can add that too. Post to that, I can click on save and publish. Just I'm mentioning what are all the form, what are all the columns I want to have inside the quick view form, so that I can access the form right here. Okay, information, I'm clicking on done. Okay, I can see department name and department in charge. So this is information available from the department detail table, not in the employee management table. So that's the reason why you can see this lock icon. So this is a read only, it's not editable. We'll save and publish. We'll quickly refresh here. Okay, so if you see here, I have already selected department 04. This is a primary column. So for this department, I can able to see the department name and department in charge here. As this is a empty, so there is no value here. If I remove this, that quick form, right? Quick view is removed, is not rendered in this form. As soon as I select the value, I can able to see the value, the selected value of the department name and department in charge. The quick view form will show the updated value based on the latest selection or recent selection here. Okay, so this is how we can access the columns, not the primary columns, that we can access the other columns from the lookup table. Any doubts here? Okay, so moving further, okay, we have added this in the mm, Dataverse form. But what in case if I want to show them in the table, the Dataverse table here. So here inside this form, based on the selection, we can able to see this. But I want to see the department name right here. Okay, in this table view. Let's see how to do that. So I have edited this view, the design view. Let me add a view column here. Let me search for the column department detail. I can able to see the single column that will display the ID, the primary column details. But I want to add a department name in this view. So in order to do that, I will add one more column. So I will go to related here. Inside the related, I want to access the related columns in the department detail table. So I will expand this. So inside this, these are all the available columns where we can directly add it in the view. So in our scenario, we have to add the department name. So as soon as I added the department name, you can able to see the department name which is coming from the department detail table. Okay, I can click on save and publish. So this is how we can able to access the other columns from the lookup table, either in the Dataverse view or in the form. So if I refresh here, I can able to see the department ID and department name. Next one. So far this is very easy. Like we have created a direct lookup column, and then inside the lookup column we have added the related columns from the lookup table. But next scenario is like, if in case we have a scenario where the single person can be in a multiple department. We cannot able to do that, right, with the lookup column. So in SharePoint, we know we have multi lookup, so that we can able to select the multiple values from the lookup list. But here in Dataverse, we don't have any such option. If yeah, whenever we are creating a lookup, we can have only the single value selected in the lookup column. But obviously, so if you see here, this is the drop down combo box where you can able to make multi selection here. But for the lookup column, you are not able to do that. Obviously, we will be having such business requirements to have multi lookup columns for the single data was row. So in order to do that, what we have to do, we have to go to table, data was table, and then we have to go to relationship. In the relationship, you can see many to many relationship. Okay, we have to create many to many relationship for the multi lookup. Then we have to again select the uh, lookup table. Here, in our case, it's the department detail. Then you can click on done so that the relationship will get created. I have already created a relationship. So you can see the support request to department detail, like many to many relationship got created here. So as we have created many to many relationship, how to add it inside the Dataverse form so that the user can able to select multiple values, right? Let's see how to do that. In order to do that, I will go to new. Okay, I can add here itself. So we have this quick view. Right after that, I will go to components and then I will add a subgrid. Okay. So if you see here, subgrid, as soon as I selected the subgrid, we have an option called show related records. We have to check this. I will tell you why later. Um, Under table, we have to select the department detail table. That is it. I don't see just a second. Okay, here in this table, I don't have too many relationship. Department detail. I will add a subgrid now. Let's check department details. Okay, now we can able to see the department details. I will select the department details and then I can able to select the view. This is nothing but the view of this table from the default, sorry, department details table. So I'm just selecting the active department details. I will click on done. So that the subgrid got added to the form here. So let's see how this will be available for the end users. Okay, I will scroll down. So here I can able to see the subgrid and also I can able to see the lookup column here. I will go and add the existing departments. I can do the multiple selection here. As you see here, I have already done the multiple selection and then I will click on add. Okay. As soon as I click on add here, you can see the 4 items, all the items got added into the subgrid. If I want to remove one of them from here, I can remove it as well. And if I save this, and if I go back, and if I open another record, I cannot able to see the selected values for the another record as that selected values get attached to that particular item. So if I go back here, I can see the all items here. So that is the reason why we have selected the show related records. If we are not selected the show related records, then everywhere we can able to see all the records in the from the lookup table. Okay. So this is how we have to create a multi lookup column. Okay. Any doubts here? Any doubts on that? Okay, next we will see um, note section here called timeline feature, where in every application, say example, right from Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, um, Viva Engage, everywhere we have comments section here, right? So likewise, here also we can enable the comment section. For that, we have to enable the attachment option as we are be using the note feature. So that's the reason why just I'm enabling the attachments for the employee management table here. Okay. So next I will go here. If I go to components, I can see timeline feature. So I will add a timeline feature. So it's almost there. I will scroll it down. Okay. I will save and publish. So this is the out of box feature, like where we can able to enter the comments. Okay. I just enter the comments here. I can also have an option to upload the attachment as well for the comments. So I can see modified by, I can see the all of the informations related to this comment. Okay. So this is the inbuilt feature. So whenever we are adding the note section here, there is a date out of box data was table called a note. So it will create a lookup column to the note table, and then it will have the reference of this particular record with the lookup column. Next to that, we have spacer. Spacer is like if you want to add any space between the sections, just you can use that. This is the layout. This is a multi-tab or multi-section layout here. And next to that, we have a subgrid, and we saw this. Next is the this is the most advanced features. If there is any customization required, this is the place where we'll be doing it. And also, this one we will cover in the next class. But meanwhile, we will see what are all the input controls here. Okay. If you see, we have multiple input controls. Say example, we have checkbox, we have form, um, we have number input, option set, pen input. Pen input is like to capture some signature or something. You can use that. Rich text control, where we'll be having the formatting for the input controls, or rating or toggle. Okay, let's see. If we have a yes or no column, okay, how that will be rendered in that UI for yes or no column. Let's see whether I have any yes or no column here. Okay, so hired is the yes or no column. You can see it as a text here, like a kind of drop down. But you don't like that. You want to have a toggle based input. So for that, what you can do, you can click on toggle, and then you can select the column. These are all the yes or no columns available inside this table. So as I have only one yes or no column, I can select this column and then you can mention it here. Whether this control has to be available for all these devices, then you can click on OK, where that UI is different. That's it. So here you can able to see toggle control, but ultimately this is the default input control for the toggle. So as you have said this, whenever you are doing modifications here, right? Um, this you don't need to worry about any data save or data manipulation. Automatically, it will be taken care when you are adding it from here. Likewise, for the option set, we'll be having a drop down. Let's see here. Let's add gender here. As I have added the gender, the classic view will be like a kind of drop down where we'll be selecting from the drop down male, female, or other. But in this option set, you can able to select between the buttons. Here you have a buttons. Directly you can click on the button, then that will be selected. This is a modern UI control here. So likewise, we have other input controls where every controls you have to add it to some bind it to some table column based on the data type. Okay. And if you don't like any of the data type here, then what you, here you have get more components, and then we have some templates. Okay, this is the PCF control just already created and uploaded in Microsoft. So whether if you are okay with any of the components here, you can directly select the components, add it inside the model down application, and then you can use it for the field customization, or you can create your PCF component and then you can do that, or else you can download the PCF component from the PCF gallery website. So in this website, you can preview the um, PCF components here based on some classification, or just you can directly search it, and then if there are any templates available or matches with your requirement, then what you can do, you can just download it and import it into the solution, and then you can use it inside the model run application. Okay. And you have option to add Power BI report as well into the model run application. So these are all the available customizations inside the model driven application. So next we will see um, um, web resources and what else? And other modern or advanced customizations here. Okay. So that's it for today.